I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Tottenham against the Chelsea in a bit of a slugfest as Spursy go up and then they go down. But we're going to talk about, lots of things, because I think there's a definite red card and there's penalties that weren't, clearly. But we're going to talk about this Cucurella chappie here and his slips, because they're not just slips, there's a problem with it. When you see a player slip and they do what they're doing, a lot of the times it isn't because of just their bad boots. A lot of it is they're doing something else wrong as well, and then they blame the boots or they blame something else. Right. So right now, look at his body shape. Here's his shoulders. He is facing the ball. What's the problem? His body shape. He should be here, facing this way like that. That's what he should be doing. So when the pass comes in, he can play it to here. And because his body shape is not correct, his body shape is not correct, he's shutting the gate, as we'd call it. So that's where he wants to be, facing that way, so he can see the ball and the player he wants to pass to at the same time. He can't, he can only see that. So what that means is when the ball's played to him, and you go, oh, but he's got all the space in the world to take a touch and turn it outside. Yeah, but that is time. If he wants to play this quickly, why would you want to play it quickly? Well, they're playing a high press, because that's the thing to do that bad teams do nowadays. We're playing a high press and we're going to put you under pressure. So if I have to take 2 touches and then deliver, that puts me in a bad situation. If I can just receive the ball and on the first touch pass it, that gives me an option. I might want to hold on to it. That's another option. But it gives me an option. The fact that I have to take 2 touches means that this guy can pressure me. Okay, if your body shape is correct and you're facing the right way, which is seeing him, and you're not facing down this way, you're not making this mistake. So when this ball's played there, right, so now he's got a touch. So what Cucurella's seen is, oh my God, there's a player pressuring me, which he would have seen if he had taken that one extra step back and seen the field. It's amazing how many players don't do this. It's the simple things that make you a good football player, and actually just getting in your positional shape early means that he wouldn't receive the ball. He would have received the ball properly, and he wouldn't have panicked. Now, while he goes to slip, there's a little bit of his boots, but it's more to the fact that he panics because he can see a player and he's had to take a touch to turn. So watch the pace of his legs now. Watch how quick he has to move his legs. Do you see that? Super speed. I have to go super speed now to pass the ball because I now have to outrun the player and play it down there. Instead of facing the player when the ball is played, playing it straight away, and he wouldn't have been in any danger. He slips because he has to run super fast because he's made a mistake. Now, is his boots a problem? Yeah, but so's his body shape. There's 2 things we can fix there. Make him pick the right boots and get his body shape right so he doesn't have to panic and use his speed and ability to get the ball out of the way. You don't have to be fast if you're clever. He's not clever. Well, he can't even choose the right boots, for crying out loud. And let's go on from here. So it's not just Cucurella's issue, okay? Yeah, he creates the problem, but he gets a little free run down the wing, which is completely expected because his player's fallen over. Now, we're 1v1 here in the middle. Don't know who you are, but you're pants at the football because you've got a striker behind you who cuts in front of you to nick the ball, and you do not put in any sort of challenge or even try to slow his run down or anything. You just let it happen. You let that striker run in front of the defender and get an easy tap in. Slanky's quite good, honestly, on a lot of chances. I do rate him as not as a top striker, but he's one of those mid-tier ones. If you supply him the ball in the box, he will get you goals, and this is what he thrives on. A ball in, but this defending here is rubbish. Look, there's no strength there. Slanky's just bullying him out the way to this little weak boy, and he just kicks the ball in the net box. Simple. Defenders, what's the point of running all the way back with Solanke if you're not going to try to slow his run down by getting your body shape in the way and making it harder for that delivery? Things have to, not just one thing has to happen there, multiple things have to happen for that goal to be allowed. Yeah, we've got the bad body shape. Yeah, we've got the slip. Yeah, we've got the recovery runs now. After the recovery runs, do we track them properly? No, we don't really track them properly. Why? Because we're not in a position to challenge him when the cross comes in. Oh, we are in a position to challenge him. We just chose not to. Let's get on to the next one. So here we are again. Can he fix this with body position? Yes, he can. He can just jog back to about there. How do we know he can do that? Because he still stood still waving to his gran in the stand. When this ball comes in, let's watch his leg movement again. Does he have bad boots on? Yeah, but he knows that, so he needs to compensate and actually be a little bit smarter. So when this pass comes in, look, first off, the pass is rubbish. God, that's bad for him as well. Look. So if he is a little bit deeper, the pass is better because that pass is just rubbish. It's put him in a bad situation. He has to turn a little bit. Now, Normally, it's not a bad pass because you're not expecting this guy to have terrible footwear on that's going to cause a problem. But because of that, he's pushed a little bit wider. Now there's his touch. Well, that's not his foot he plays the ball with. So what does he have to do? He has to take another touch. And because the same situation is happening, you can see the identical thing with one player, the other player pressuring him. He panics again. And because he panics, watch, as he panics, slips over again. Tries to do a worldy ball down the side. Deja vu all over again. Honestly, it's kind of funny when you think about it. And off Spursy go again. The ball ends up getting recycled around through these kiddies to the edge of the box. Right here, corner of the box, player unmarked. But it's the Premier League. Do we close the player down and try to win the football? No, we just run with him and make it look like we're trying to win the football. That's the Premier League way. So as they close him, because this is just, terrible. Yeah, Cucurella's made a mistake. It's awful. But there's enough time and effort to actually make up for that mistake and make sure a bad goal doesn't go in. But Chelsea go, no, we thought the last goal was bad. We're going to double down and let you concede another easy goal. So as he starts mazing in across, look, well, we're not going to the ball. We're stood there all watching. Oh, no, we can't go to the ball. There's three. Well, there's technically two of you. He can't get close enough. Two of you there to try to get close to this player, trying to do something. No one's getting close enough to the ball. Look at that distance between them inside the box. Bearing in mind, he's picked up the ball over here. We could have really got close to him. And it is that same thing that I talk about in a lot of videos where these players nowadays have never, ever been taught how when you're sprinting towards the player to match their speed and get that little distance about half a yard away from the ball so you're close enough to actually win the football, but you don't get there too fast where they can step past you and they use your momentum coming in against you. They just don't know this. So he's still got to score. He's still got to pull off a shot. As he moves it forward, we're looking now, he's winding up. And honestly, you are rubbish. Because this shouldn't be a goal. This is not a good shot. It's not a good shot at all. It's a daisy cutter. It bounces maybe once, two, three times, and it goes into the corner. You expect your keeper to have that all day long, and he doesn't. Absolutely shocking. They're shocking from the slipping over. They're shocking from the body shape. They're shocking from the actual lack of pressure on the ball. And it's a shocking goalkeeper. Chelsea, do better. Let's get on to the next goal. Okay, so now what we're going to watch is we're going to watch defenders defend the run and not the ball. So this is what I'm talking about. He is going to follow the run and not think about the ball being cut inside here. Okay, so as I think this is little Jadon Sancho comes running inside to take this little decent shot. I'll explain that in a minute. These players take themselves out of position because, watch, they're too busy worried about this guy running down there instead of actually running behind you. Both players, body shape, allowing this guy to run by. You can see what he's doing. They're completely and utterly unaware that the fact that this guy's just going to run in behind them. Like, why are you tracking this runner? Just stand up and let him be offside. Go towards the ball. They don't understand that at all. They just completely just run away from the guy. He's got the ball. Now, mate, we're going to run away. And what we're going to do, because the space behind me is space in front of me is where I can tackle. You don't put the ball into that space because I can tackle it. You run from behind me where I just was. And there's no one. Both of them are doing the same wrong thing. And it's just terrible. Now they try to both stop. Oh my God, we both followed the runner and there's no one going to the thing, you know, the round thing. We've seen it in games before. When they kick it into the net box, they get points. We should maybe both go and close that down. No one does. No one's in the midfield zone here to be able to do anything about it. And now it's, can he get a good shot off on target? What I like though is Jadon Sancho does have a look. He puts his little head up and has a look. And this is an interesting technique. It's almost like a knuckleball. He's hitting almost, putting topspin over it. And he's driving that ball really hard and flat along the ground. It's a real quality strike. Here we go. 1, 2, push. And he's smashed it. You can see it. It's power. And it's going, flies into that bottom corner. But that's just because the Spurs have opened up their defence by running away from the ball. Because the ball apparently is not important. Let's get on to the next one. This to me is a red card all day long. I don't know if you know, but the football, it's over here. Yeah, there it is. That is a red card. You smash your studs in on someone's ankle when the ball is, nowhere near you. That is a red card. The fact VAR do not pull that out makes you know exactly what VAR is really all about. Because last season I saw, some Liverpool players, Liverpool fans would tell me, they had a player sent off for something when the ball was there. When it was, and he slipped off the ball and hit the other player in the ankle. But apparently, today, Smashing your studs into somebody's ankle and not getting the ball is not a red card. Thank you. Yeah. So this is a clear stonewall penalty if I've seen one. He pokes the ball past. Now, Spursy player would have got away with it, but he didn't make Bruce Lee "Hawa" noises when he went to go and try and kick him down. If he did do that, the referee would go, fair play, Bruce Lee noises, no pen. He didn't. What happened was he went to the ground. You can see there, he's catching him. The problem is he's gone to ground. If he hasn't gone to ground, there's no way the ref's giving this as a penalty, and there's also no way he's getting close to the ball as well. But he's going to the ground. He's lifting up his leg ever so slightly. Now this player's got to hurdle him. They're giving that as a penalty all day long. And over he goes. Ooh, bit theatrical. Diving into a swimming pool. Yeah. It's a pen. I don't care. Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors. Which way's the keeper going to go? All that rubbish. And he goes, pat there. Yeah. If he used sound effects, he would have got double points. We all know the rules. This next goal's quite interesting because they basically let Cole Palmer run around with the ball as much as he wants. And some of that is you've just given a penalty away and you've given other goals away from falling over and a whole load. No, other team, sorry. But you are going to give penalties away if he's twisting and turning in here. So it is difficult to make a challenge. But you can push him away from the goal, right? So he's coming in here, little jink through. That's not too bad. But he's kind of okay, but he really wants you to squeeze and finish off the pressure. Just finish it off. Close the door. Take that little bit of yardage out the way. You've been stood there for a couple of seconds now. Get there. Close that space off so he can't actually get through it. Because you haven't gone to that little space, ultimately, you give him a little place to jink into. Did you see? Like, he still stood there. That defender, he just stood there. He's like, okay. He's just stood there. And Cole Palmer, he's in no man's land. He's got nothing to do. So he just does something which is pretty awful, to be fair. He just tries to shoot and smash it through a couple of defenders. That's all, look, has a little smack and it skips up. The other shocking thing is, look, 1, 2, 3. But again, look at their body shape. They're all just ball watching. No one is turned, facing down the field and looking at the field of play. Got a player complete, look, and him. Everyone is just ball watching. No one is aware that there's a guy completely free on the back post and a guy stood up here in the D that just zoned in on the one location. That's bad defending. A quality centre-back is looking like, if you watch John Stones and some of the videos that I break down of how he turns, look at the ball, look at the players, look at the ball, look at the players. They're not doing that. They're just tunnel-visioned in one zone. It's shocking. Ball bounces up into an area, and honestly, this guy just smashes it. It's, as it's dropping, it's inviting. No one can react because everyone's just focused and staring at the ball. Bearing in mind, you've got to remember, Cole Palmer started his run out here on the wing, came in, did a little dance, had a little shot, and then it bounced up over here. No one at that point, at any time, had a look up and saw that they were outnumbered on the back post. No one. Little bit of a whack and a smash into the bottom corner. Easy. Good finish. It looks harder than it was. There's actually one thing I like here on this celebration. Let me show you. As an idiot, he's trying to pull his shirt off, and his teammate is trying to hold it back on. Now, I've told you before about it. I love it when people try to tell me, it's not the real rule, Cash. Yes, this is the real reason why you're not allowed to take your shirt off. Because people sponsor the shirts, right? So basically all of the sponsors, call them lobbyists if you want, got together and said, well, if you don't, because if the camera, when they score a goal, is on my thing that I spend £56 million a year on your shirt, and I don't get the most viewing time when they score a goal because they've taken the shirt off, I want the most viewing time on that logo. So if that happens, I want you to give them yellow cards. And then they, okay, we'll do that because without the sponsors, there wouldn't be any football. So all of a sudden, that's where the rule came in. And then they start coming up with all these conspiracy theories about what it is. No, it isn't. It's only about one thing. It's always about one thing. Money. Yeah. Let's get on to the next goal. To me, this is never a pen. Have a look. You can see Cole Palmer's having a look. Right, you can see what he's doing. He's waiting for that contact. Here comes the arm. Cole Palmer, he's a strong kid. He's running that way. He's not getting tripped up by this. But suddenly he does. So here we go. Here's the little contact, ever so slightly, and he's down like a ton of bricks. To me, it's not a penalty, but you know what? He gets it anyway. Welcome to the Premier League. Game of rock, papers, was it Lizard Spock? He goes Spock down the middle and gets himself a goal. Yeah, keeper's really, really annoyed with himself. But there we go. Let's get on to the last one. Okay, the Spurs have just taken a corner and pushed up their line. We've got a 1v1 situation. Just like I said, they don't know what they're doing defending in the Premier League because he's opening up that space and he's allowing him to go there, okay? Why is he doing that? Because of the way his feet are. They're flat. He can't push off one foot or the other to go. So this guy just ghosts past him straight away. Watch. Slows him. Do you see that? Do you see look at the Chelsea player. Do you see all his body shape where he's leaning? All of his weight is on that foot there as he goes past him because he's done him with a little slight dummy. How that's happened is because the same thing I was talking about earlier, he's a little bit too close by about that much. That's where he wants to be. That's the difference, okay? That's what the lack of understanding. Normally they're too far away. This time he's too close. So if you're too close, you can get done with that little shuffle because you can't react quick enough, okay? And he's able to do that because the defender hasn't put him in a situation where he wants him to shuffle in a certain, to push him in a certain area. He's just squared him up shoulder to shoulder, which makes it always easier for the attacking player. Well, if the attacking player is any good, that is. Now, it's interesting as well because now it's like, so you're talking about microcycles in transitions and in plays. What's happening right now is the first microcycle was the corner. Second, that they played it out. Now we're on the third sort of micro phase inside of those cycles, okay? So what's happening is Chelsea have come out and pushed their line, but now what do? All right. So this is the next little cycle, microcycle inside of this defensive movement, and this is what lets them down. So when this ball gets broken, they beats this little player here. Boom, there we go. You can see they all set back up again, but half kind of set up because as they've pushed out to go and win the ball, these players have stayed in and they haven't got back quick enough to mark their players. Look, 2 unmarked. These guys did. These guys got back into their shape, trying to do what they're trying to, basically the same thing they were doing from the corner. But not everybody did. So that opens it up for them. That enables them to pick out a pass and put it into the net box. Now, Son does score this, but I just don't think he's the player he was. Players ride on reputations for being good for a long time. He's coming to the end of his time. It's sad because I really did like I'd liked Son for years, his work rate and everything, but he's just not at it at the moment. Maybe he's carrying an injury, but chances are he's just getting a little bit too old. So ball comes in, here we go, and now they're trying to find his feet, trying to find him there, and look at the Chelsea players. They've almost made a corridor for him to receive the ball. Almost a corridor. Now, honestly, I think got to give the Spursy player a little bit of credit here because he has beaten his man. He has got to the byline. He has got down here, and he has got the cross in. So you do have to give credit where credit is due. But from a defensive point, they haven't made it difficult for him. They've made it easy for him just to walk down and do that. Then Son gets his tapping. Pwah! Would have got 2 points if he used sound effects. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.